Now, similar to what Morris Strong, Klaus Schwab, the Fabian Society, and others in this mystery religion have said, and I talked about this specifically when we went over Morris Strong, they want to introduce socialism through capitalism. That's one of the goals that they want to do. They want to introduce socialism through capitalism. How is that possible? It's possible. I'm going to show you how and what they're working on. And they want to introduce it through capitalism. And there's nobody better to do this than the ones who basically got everything rolling from the Fabian Society to the LSE and all these things. None other than the Rothschilds. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Council for Inclusive Capitalism. Check this out.
È necessario urgente un sistema economico giusto, affidabile e in grado di rispondere alle sfide più radicali che l'umanità e il pianeta si trovano ad affrontare.
We are answering Pope Francis's challenge to create more inclusive economies that spread the benefit of capitalism more equitably and allow individuals to realize their full potential.
Too much wealth has accreted to too few people.
If you make money, what's the point if you're not prepared to share it? If the people who help make that wealth for you can't live with dignity.
It's inclusive capitalism, though, and we have to recognize that starting from where we are to where we need to get to, we need to bring everyone along, and there will be adjustments that come with that.
We do need the private sector's ingenuity, capital, technology, people, everything, their passion to come to the party.
Aligning our innovation with the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the priorities of inclusive capitalism is both a business and sustainability imperative.
Two reasons, I think, why I'd say concrete commitments to inclusive capitalism matter. I mean, the first, and not to be underestimated, really important, is they can inspire other people. And the second thing that I would say around concrete public commitments is they can help build trust.
We are stewards of this earth. It's our duty to keep it clean and to keep it decent for future generations.
Look, the fact that different religions need to come together on all matters is just the crying need of the times in our world. Faith cannot be used to pull us apart. Faith is meant to bring us together. And the fact that I'm a Sikh and somebody else is a different religion, to me, doesn't matter.
Our work is indeed about social justice, which is rooted in the gospel. The idea that every person deserves to live in a just society.
We need a new system focused on the well-being of people. It's a big challenge, but if it is done right, the benefits will be immense.
It's not just an asset owner, it's not just an asset manager, it's not just a CEO, it's not just these boards of directors. We have to work collectively over the long term.
We invite all businesses, large and small, and individuals to join us as stewards for inclusive capitalism by going to our website, agreeing the principles, and making your own commitments to inclusive capitalism. Please join us. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, you notice, first of all, this group was founded by Lynn Forester de Rothschild. You know how I mentioned Evelyn Rothschild, who was a part of the LSE board and all that stuff? Well, they were married. So you've got the connection there again. You've got Rothschild, who's leading and funding this, and it's the same idea of introducing socialism through capitalism that we talked about from the Fabian Society all the way up till now. You see how it's all connected, and it's the same faces and people that are involved, so it's there. The other thing you notice is they throw faith and spirituality in there, not just in the term of you need to have faith for this thing. No, but we need all religions to come together. But it's just politics, right? It's never just politics. That's what Satan wants you to think. It's politics. These evil people. They want all the money. They want to control. They want bigger government. No. There is a spiritual agenda behind this. And you'll notice that it's led by none other than the Pope as well. The Vatican is involved. So the Council for Inclusive Capitalism, we'll call it the CIC, is built to grab control and centralize the biggest globally influential corporations and join them together with a unified government. Sounds a lot like what Mussolini said, right? The unification of corporation and government is the true definition of fascism. Well, it's actually also called corporativism as well. Corporativism. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to centralize all the biggest global, most influential companies into one centralized group. That's what they're working on. That is socialism through capitalism. It's what they've been working on for years and years and years. Once they get them in control, then they're going to push the agenda, push the ideology over profit. Now, they'll get profit. You'll get the ideology. This is how you combine government and corporations together in order to instill the mystery religion agenda broadly. This group was formed back in roughly 2019, 2020. So right when the 2020 stuff happened, kind of convenient, right? This is when it happened, by Lynn Forester de Rothschild. She was the wife of Evelyn de Rothschild. He's dead now. With the idea of bringing socialism through capitalism. This is exactly what they were working on through the Fabians and through LSE, with leadership of not only various religious groups, but also global corporations and Pope Francis. They make a point to express unity of religions to make this global economic system happen. We talk about the Antichrist beast system. It's got the three pillars. You've got the one world government, you got the one world economy, and you got the one world religion. Ever present here is the one world economy and the one world religion revealing heads. Now remember, like we said, most people focus on these two over here, government and economy. Not much attention on the one world religion, when in fact that is the most important one, at least to Satan, because that's his whole goal. He's using these two to make this so the world doesn't worship God and they worship Satan. And so that's why he's using religion, he's using spirituality, he's using faith, he's using come together, unify under this economic system that's going to be controlled by this one government. Because in the end, all of that's going to come together so you worship me, not him. Several of the members of the CIC include MasterCard, Alliance, DuPont, United Nations, BP, which is a huge oil and power and all that type of stuff, Bank of America, Johnson & Johnson, Visa, the Rockefeller Foundation, Ford Foundation, IBM, Verizon, State Street, You know how we talk about the big three when it comes to investment groups? Everybody knows BlackRock. Everybody knows Vanguard. And then you got State Street. Those are the big three. They're the ones who pretty much own like everything. Well, State Street's also on board with this, and a boatload of others. Again, you can go to their website and check out. There's a ton of them. Again, we'd be here for just 2 hours going over how many people are already on board with this. When you look at ESG, DEI, the SDGs, as well as the IDGs, the Inner Development Goals, this is a folding of all of them together, being led by a mystery agenda into a grander plan of the beast system. ESG, DEI, the SDGs, and the IDGs. Those are the 4 that are really leading everything right now when it comes to this stuff. Again, everybody would look at this and go, again, oh, politics. It's really not. All of these are rooted in a spirituality movement. We've talked about it. I mean, we have literally talked about all these and how they are, in fact, all come from that New Age belief, which comes from Theosophy and down and down and down and down, down, down to Gnosticism. These are all spiritually led things, and these are all being introduced in corporations and governments and churches and all the policies that we see taking place in order to form this beast system. And these are getting folded into this inclusive capitalism as well. The social justice, alphabet agenda, climate agenda, DPI, which is the digital public interface, or they rechristened it intelligence now, are all present in this. But what about the technology? What about AI? Well, don't worry. That's in there too. Here's a little interview with Evelyn about how AI, or not Evelyn, Lynn, my bad, about how AI is going to lead this revolution. You're going to want to hear this.
The first major global summit on AI, artificial intelligence safety, it is being held right now in the United Kingdom this week. And our next guest wrote an op-ed in the London Times about how this gathering can reset capitalism, making it more inclusive. Joining us right now is Lady Lynn Rothschild. She's the Council for Inclusive Capitalism founder and CEO. And good morning to you. Tell us about this op-ed and tell us how you think AI can make capitalism, if you will, more inclusive. What are you arguing?
Thanks for having me, Andrew, and greetings from London. First of all, it's a great achievement of the British government to convene global leaders from the G7 and China, as well as the biggest technology companies in the world and the best universities in the world thinking about AI. Because AI is going to change everything, for good and for ill. I say, why aren't we asking, how can AI address the structural deficiencies in our economic system? How can AI make our economy work for all? How can AI create a society where it's not us and them, but it's where we all equally believe that the system works for us, just that it works equally? That's all that anyone wants. And government regulates here, technology innovates there. But I'm calling for a joint declaration of the private sector and the public sector to the common good. It would be the first time in history. There are so many changes. That's why I'm saying it's a root and branch reform of the economy. And there's no better place to start than with AI, since AI is going to be this amazing, magical.
You've been talking for many years, and we've had you on the broadcast a bunch before about the idea of inclusive capitalism. But one of the things that's happened, and you and I have talked about this, I think, on TV and off air as well, is the backlash that has come from companies doing anything more, frankly, than focusing on profits, right? I mean, we've seen what's happened even the last several years around different companies that have spoken out on either spoken out on different issues or tried to readjust their business models. And what's happened? We've either seen politicians come and there's been a backlash, or in some cases, shareholders have come and so with a backlash. And so the question is sort of, how do you even begin to do this?
Well, I think begin is the point. That's why I'm saying we have to have a declaration where business and government together make a joint statement to the public about why capitalism, understood to be for all the people, is the best system in the world. And that's not free market alone. It's free market that's dictated by, as Adam Smith said, morality and ethics. And that's all I'm asking for. And I am not a proponent of socialism. I am trying to make capitalism truly the greatest system in the world.
So she wants free market capitalism to be regulated by, so that's not free. Interesting. She's talking about the global good, the common good, the greater good, but she's not a proponent of socialism. But those are the same principles. But she goes on specifically to say how she wants AI to be the leading factor that just revolutionizes the root of the economy. This is not bringing in a new system. This is or introducing some type of new system. No, this is literally the formation of trying to bring in that economy that Revelation speaks about. An economy where, again, they're talking about socialism through capitalism. With what we see going on, I firmly believe that it's going to be more in line with a neo-feudalistic technocracy, where you're going to have the kings and the peasants, and then it's all going to be ruled by technology. Well, that's exactly what they're aiming for here. That's exactly what they're aiming for. That's what she was talking about. She speaks on an entire global reform of economy down to the roots using government, AI, and spirituality. In order to reach a greater good for all, like she said, the economy has to meet New Age ethics. So she's talking about blending ethics. She didn't say New Age, but when she says ethics, she means the New Age ethics, because he was talking about how corporations and businesses, they start standing for social justice stuff and people start fighting back. That's what he was referencing. Well, she's talking about ethics. Well, those are New Age ethics. Those are mystery religion ethics. And so this economy must be matched with that, with a central control. One world government, one world economy, one world religion. In that interview, she mentioned all three pillars of that beast system. Now remember, the Club of Rome, at their formation, stated that the greatest enemy to humanity is us, is humanity. They also stated they actually created this crisis, this problem, the problem of humanity, in order to direct the world where they want. Lynn Rothschild is stating the exact same thing for the economy. We are the problem. And so they must step in, uproot everything in order to fix the problem. And it's all led by mystery religion. This is not just happenstance, coincidence. Any of it, you think it's coincidence that the same family who funded the Fabian Society, that's connected to Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical Society, they funded that to introduce world socialism. And that same family that funded that is also the same family that's leading this. You think that's coincidence after all these years? Because I don't. Not at all. They funded the Fabian Society. They funded the London School of Economics. And they're funding this. century of work, all with the same agenda, backed by big money and spirituality. That's not coincidence. That's a spiritual plan led by a spiritual entity. That's the words of the Bible jumping off the page. And again, being 100% correct.